What's up, everybody? Welcome to Flashy Knowledge, the podcast, my informal talk around entrepreneurship, business, life, and everything in between. It's your host and your boy, Don Mohsin. So welcome to episode 8. Today's episode is around biggest time wasters. I thought it'd be a very good topic for us to talk about since I believe we can all relate to some of these things. So I did a little bit of research on what is consuming everyone's time. Where do our excuses lie? Where do they go? And what are we using as our excuses? And myself included. So I wanted to get some stats, some numbers, and really draw the picture of where our time is going and maybe potentially what's stopping us from getting to the next level of our life. So I listed 3 things, in my opinion, that I think are consuming our time right now, where we could actually be taking that time from these wasteful activities and putting it towards something that's more useful to our life. Now, again, all this stuff is in my opinion, so take that with a grain of salt. It's just from my research, it's from what I personally feel and what I've seen. So don't be offended if you partake in a lot of these, or if it's your job. Again, that changes things a little bit. So in my opinion, it's these few things. So let's start off with number 1. Our number 1 biggest time waster, and these are in no particular order, it's just a list of 3. But number 1 is Netflix, and I'm sure some of you could have guessed that. But yeah, Netflix is apparently taking up a lot of our time. According to an article from MarketWatch.com, check this out. There are 117.58 million subscribers, and those 117 or so million subscribers watch 140 million hours of Netflix a day. Oh my God. I'm just saying, can you imagine if those people for one day got together and did like a big project for mankind or Earth? Imagine the things we could solve. But anyway, they did some further boiling down. So that basically boils down to the average user watching about an hour and 11 minutes of Netflix a day. And the funny thing around that is, if you look at what the average time right now is for family bonding and how much time they spend together that's uninterrupted, it's only 35 minutes. So we are spending more time on Netflix, than almost double than we are bonding with each other as a family and having uninterrupted time together. Pretty eye-opening stuff. And I bring this up because I obviously have Netflix. I've been prone to Netflix binges. But that's something I've definitely cleaned up in my life over the last few years, mainly because I had to. I didn't have a choice, because as I started to open up my company and started to really devote time to it, I just noticed naturally, Netflix and binge watching is getting in the way. So I naturally just pushed it aside. A lot of us maybe still fall prey to it or haven't gotten the courage to do that yet, but you need to be able to do that if you really want to focus your time in the right areas. I mean, just think about it. Let's say we use that 1 hour stat, 1 hour and 11 minutes a day. After 5 days, that's over 5 hours. What could you have done? What could you have accomplished in your life's mission, your short-term goal, mid-term goal, whatever, with 5 extra hours a week? It's really something to think about. It really is. And I've seen a big difference in myself as well, since I gave up all this binge watching and Netflixing. Just it's something to really think about. It's very powerful once you start adding it up. 5 hours a week, and 5, 10, 15, 20 hours in 4 weeks. I mean, that's a good chunk of time. So those of you complaining, I don't have time to do this, I don't have time to do that, check your Netflix game. I mean, look at how long you're spending there, and maybe you could use that time, for some of your goals. And the way I combat this is, it's not like I completely don't watch Netflix. What I'll do is I'll have like dedicated time to watch it. So, for example, date night Fridays. I know from like 6 to 8 or 6 to 9 or something, that's like movie time or Netflix time. That's the only time I touch it or dare turn it on because it's my dedicated time. I know that this is that specific time. A lot of us don't have those guardrails. So if you're stuck in this Netflix black hole where you're just finding yourself binge watching and you can't stop, maybe in your schedule you need to dedicate some time to where and to what time and what day you'll watch Netflix, because folks are wasting a lot of hours on Netflix. So maybe try that to get out of that pitfall. Number two, I'm sure you all could have guessed this. Number two on my list of biggest time wasters is social media. Now, potential backlash here. Look, I get it. Social media connects us. Well, there's some that say it connects us. There's some that say it disconnects us. Depends on which side you're on. But I totally get it. Look, there's some interesting stuff on there. You can learn stuff. You can connect with people you wouldn't normally be able to. You could learn news. So I get it. It's evolved over time, and there's definitely some positives to it. What I mean is when we start to obsess over social media and it starts to take away from our personal time, whether it's time for ourselves, time for our relationships, time for our goals. That's really what I'm talking about here. And I got some fun stats for you here as well from Digital Information World. They put together some global stats on social media, and based on what they said, it looks like the average social media user is spending about 2 hours and 22 minutes every day on social media, some social media platform. And the kind of breakdown across like the age groups is 16 to 24-year-olds spend the most time, about 3 hours on social media a day. 25 to 34-year-olds spend about 2.37 hours a day. 35 to 44-year-olds spend about 2 hours every day. And 45 to 54 spend about 1.39 hours a day. So obviously one trend is the older the age range gets, the less time they spend, maybe because more responsibilities or they just don't want to anymore, maybe they get sick of it. But the younger you are, I mean, look at the 16 to 24 age range, just 3 hours. Now, I'm obviously a big believer in being a content creator, not a consumer, but you do have to be able to consume some content as well to really understand the platform. So, take this with a grain of salt as well. We're spending 2-3 hours, especially if you're in the younger age range, you're spending quite a few amount of hours on there. Maybe you're learning stuff, maybe you're connecting with people, maybe you're trying to learn the platform. All that stuff is fine. It's when you obsess over like the likes and the comments and you just keep scrolling and you find yourself in that trap where one article leads to another, and then next thing you know you're an hour and a half into the history of Full House or something, and you don't have any reason to be there or to be researching that or to be paying attention to it. It's a waste of time. Just think about that. 2 to 3 hours every day. What could you be doing with that time? Maybe if you cut it down, if you, like I said, there's good reasons to be on social media for sure. I mean, if you're a business owner, you got to be popping on social media. So what does that look like? And if you're content creating on social media, that may be a little bit different, obviously, because I don't really consider that as part of the whole, obviously, the consumption part. You are creating content. You are promoting yourself, promoting your business. So that's not included in here. What this is talking about is just simply being an antenna and receiving data and not pushing forward the stuff that you need to push forward for yourself or your company. So maybe time box yourself. My way to solve this is time box yourself. Say, okay, I got 30 minutes. I'm going to check out what my friends are doing. I'm going to check out what's going on here and there. I'm going to check out these people or celebrities I'm interested in and see what they're posting. Check out what's going on in fashion. I've got 30 minutes or 45 minutes, and I'm going to spend this time on social media. And that's what you do. Otherwise, it's very easy to fall into these traps. And one thing I didn't mention about Netflix and social media is, guys and gals, they design these to make sure you stay on the platform because it's in their best interest for you to do so. Why do you think Netflix has a quick countdown from episode to episode? Amazon Prime is even worse. I haven't even listed Amazon Prime. I just picked on Netflix, but like Amazon Prime's countdown between episodes is like 3 seconds, but at least Netflix gives you like 10 to 15 seconds to like decide. But they autoplay it because they want you to stay on the platform. Social media's feed is designed to keep you on that platform. They give you the content that you're gonna wanna keep reading and stay on their platform. So they're designed to make sure you stay there. So you gotta kind of fight the good fight and be better than that and be able to say, you know what, I need this time. I'm wasting my time on here and it's not bettering my life or bettering, getting me to the place that I want to be. I need to take my time back. I'm going to take my power back. So time box yourself. Number 3, I picked mainly because it's something pretty close to me, is video games. So most of you who know me know that I'm a gamer. I've been gaming since I was a little kid, all the way back in the Nintendo days. I've been a gamer most of my life, and I probably wouldn't consider myself like a hardcore gamer. Like, it's not something I did daily. And as the years went on and I got more and more serious in my career and the company and everything, I definitely reduced my time. Now, don't get me wrong, I still game every now and then, but it's something that I have significantly reduced. And obviously, if you're like want to be a Twitch streamer and like a professional gamer, this doesn't apply to you, so you can ignore this. But here's some stats around video games and how we're using our time there, according to a Limelight Network's white paper. So, people who game spend 7 hours and 7 minutes a week playing. And gamers 26 to 35 play for 8 hours and 12 minutes a week, which is up 25% since the previous year, which I think was either 2018 or 2017. I believe these are 2019 stats. Also, more than 15% of people who took this survey, by the way, it was a survey, I forgot to mention that, they've either missed sleep, or 1/3 of the people who took the survey missed a meal. So, let's just look at the 26 to 35 range. They're playing for 8 hours and 12 minutes a week. I definitely ain't playing for no 8 hours and 12 minutes a week. I wouldn't deserve to have my company or my brand if I did. But yeah, again, another significant chunk of time being taken up by something. And again, you're trying to be a professional gamer, Twitch streamer, this obviously doesn't apply to you, but everyone else, if you are spending 7-8 hours a week playing video games, it's time to cut it out. If it's not getting you to where you want to be, any activity, and obviously just pick 3, but any activity you've got in your life, is time to start deprioritizing that and start thinking about your big picture. Don't let these big time wasters ruin your chances of success, ruin your chance for greatness. So, if you're playing video games, I'll give you the same advice that I gave to social media: is time box it, right? So actually, that's probably going to be the solution for all of these. Is maybe pick a day, pick a time frame, start there. Say, I'm going to game on Saturday from 12 to 2, and that's all. That's my gaming time. And it takes willpower, it takes courage to be able to stick to this. But those who want greatness, they will do this. So if you're not willing to give that up, don't expect great things out of your life. But those of you who say, okay, look, Netflix, social media, video games, these are taking over my life, and I'm wasting so much time when I could be putting that time into my life goals, my personal goals. What am I going to do about it? Find out whatever. Yeah, find out whatever works for you. I gave you a few options. Time boxing and putting things into a certain day or a certain time or limiting your time are all just some ideas, but find whatever works for you. Whatever helps you get out of this black hole of time wasters, that's all on you. So again, biggest time wasters that I found: Netflix, social media, video games. There are obviously pros and cons to each. Is there a pro to Netflix? Sure, you can learn something on Netflix. But again, prioritize the things you need to do and deprioritize the things that aren't getting you where you want to be in life. So that wraps us up for this week. I hope you enjoyed my spiel on the biggest time wasters. Do something about it, folks. You can listen to these podcasts. You can listen to a bunch of motivators all you want. But if you ain't doing something about it, you're just getting motivated for 5 minutes and you're going back to your old habits, don't expect your life to change. So get out there and do something about it. So thank you for listening, and I will see you guys there I go again saying see you guys. I will talk to you guys in the next episode. Don Mohsin out.